Hello, my name is Andrew Carnegie, but you can call me Andy. I was born in Scotland almost 180 years ago. In 1835, most kids in Scotland attended school from the age of 5 until they were 16. However, schools were not free. Parents had to pay a teacher to teach their children, so many children never finished school. My parents had an education. They thought it was important that I have one too, so they paid for me to go to school. My classroom had over 150 students. The older ones taught the younger ones. It was busy, noisy, but I learned a lot. I loved memorizing and reciting poetry. The Industrial Revolution changed everything for my family. Steam and water-powered machines were able to do the work of many people much more cheaply. Even weavers like my dad could not compete with the factories. My dad lost his job and we became poor. He went to work in a factory. My parents decided to move to America, where there were more opportunities. We boarded a steamship that crossed the Atlantic. The trip took 7 weeks. I was the only one in my family that didn't get sick. We stayed with family in Pittsburgh. My dad found work in another factory. I joined him when I was 13. Working in factories was not easy. The hours were long, 14-hour days, 7 days a week, and the pay barely enough to live on. Then I found a really cool job as a messenger boy, delivering telegraphs. Messenger boys could get into theaters for free. I got in and I loved memorizing plays. I missed school, but I was helping my family. I missed reading most of all. I found a library that would let working boys like me borrow 1 book a week for free. Later, the library's new directors wanted to charge me a fee to check out books. I didn't think that was fair. I wrote a letter to the local paper. My letter convinced the new directors to let me borrow books for free again. Then I found a job working for the Pennsylvania Railroad. I was so good at what I did that I became the superintendent when I was only 24. I learned so much that during the Civil War, I was called to Washington, D.C. to keep the trains and the telegraphs running. Afterwards, I opened my first steel mill. Using a new way to make steel, my steel company became the largest steel company in the world. I became one of the richest people in the world. I also became friends with famous people like Mark Twain. Remembering where I came from, I published The Gospel of Wealth, where I wrote that the wealthy have a duty to help society. Then I began to spend my money to help people all over the world. I built many things, including universities, concert halls, and libraries. Lots of libraries all over the world. The money I earned was also used to build the West Tampa Library in 1913. It was the first public library in Tampa.